Hi, my name is Becky Slack. Welcome to our annual fundraiser, Art and Advocacy. I am the committee chair and volunteer for Safe and Sound Child Advocacy Center. The great thing about this fundraiser is that you can take home an amazing experience package or a beautiful painting, and all of the money raised goes directly to the work that Safe and Sound does. The other events that we have planned for you this week are very exciting, and so we're super happy that you've joined us. We'll go into a little bit more detail about those later. First, we want to go through and explain to you why Safe and Sound Child Advocacy Center is so important to the community that we live in.
Hi, I'm Renee Decrow, owner of Live Oak Coffee House and prior honorary chair of Safe and Sound. Why for Safe and Sound is something that, a question that always is really meaningful to me is what is something that breaks your heart? Whatever that is, go and make a difference in that, in that area. And something that really breaks my heart is just seeing people struggle with mental illness or isolation or just feeling like they don't fit in or belong. A lot of the storytelling I've done over the years, a lot of the different conversations I've had with people, it often, those feelings can be traced back to, some trauma in our childhood, and how that plays out in your adult life. And so, I'm really passionate about trying to figure out how do we prevent that from happening right from the get-go. And so, Safe and Sound does such a great job with both prevention and then care for children, as well as resources for families, so that and community members, so that we can be aware of the signs, and so that we can be a part of the solution.
Hello, I'm Trooper Christopher Kustra, and I work with the Michigan State Police. I work out of the Tri-City Post in Freeland, Michigan. We cover Bay County, Saginaw County, and Midland County. I've had the opportunity to work with Midland County Safe and Sound multiple times, and they are a huge asset to our department and the other departments in the area. Every child deserves to be heard. Every child deserves to be safe. Every child deserves to have a happy and a healthy childhood. Unfortunately, that is not always the case. The Safe and Sound provides an opportunity and a voice for the children who need one. They're usually the first steps in becoming that voice. They are here to make a difference, and with their partnership, they do.
Hello, my name is J.D. Brooks. I'm the Midland County Prosecuting Attorney. My office works with the Safe and Sound Child Advocacy Center on pretty much a daily basis. We attend at least a couple of interviews per week of children being interviewed at the center, and we also work with them to check the status and to strategize about how to move some of the cases and investigations forward. Without the Safe and Sound Child Advocacy Center and the interviewing of children that they do in an environment which is both safer and less traumatizing for them, we would not be able to really get to the truth and to achieve justice in these cases. Without Safe and Sound, quite frankly, we wouldn't be able to do our job, which is to protect all of the children in Midland County and to try all of those who abuse children in Midland County to hold them accountable for their actions.
Wally Mayton. I currently serve as Parish Associate at Memorial Presbyterian Church in Midland. I'm very, very pleased to speak in favor of Safe and Sound Child Advocacy Center. I truly believe in the concept of neighboring, and part of neighboring is building relationships where we care for one another and share compassion toward one another. Part of that being a thriving community is the safety of all people, especially our children. Where there is child neglect or abuse, we certainly want to respond positively in a healing manner. We wish to empower the children to let them know that we believe in them and they are worth the opportunity to reach their full potential in a safe and sound manner. We also want to educate the community, and we want to listen. We want to be a listening community so that we may respond positively for the growth of a thriving neighboring community. That is a spirit of neighboring which is lived and practiced through safe and sound child advocacy.
I would say that it's a hard conversation to have. A lot of us feel uncomfortable talking about this. Maybe we've experienced it personally, and so it just can be hard for us to deal with the feelings that arise when we're talking about it. But that's the very reason we need to discuss it, and we need to, come alongside one another and recognize that we're not alone in this, that we need each other, and it's going to take all of us linking arms to really solve this problem.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Green. I'm the CEO and president for Associated Builders and Contractors in Michigan. I'm thrilled and honored, really, to be chair for this year's Safe and Sound organization. This is something that's really near and dear to me, and I am no accident as it relates to my community activism and my involvement on boards in particular. I'm a product of a lot of the organizations that I tend to support or fundraise for. This is no exception to that, and that's why it really feels very personal to be an advocate for somebody who was like me many decades ago who had no advocacy. I always find it important that we communicate, especially to our community, their necessity to be involved and engaged in everybody that lives around you. You just don't know the impact that you might have on people in particular. You look at the words safe and sound. You can't possibly be sound when you're not safe. I come from an environment where I was born and raised in Flint, and I never felt safe, which means I really never felt sound. Took me years and years and years to get to that place where you can feel safe and sound and be a contributing citizen to a community that you love. It's an opportunity to give back, to show that all things are possible, but these things shouldn't take decades to get to. The more we get engaged as community citizens, just as people, God-fearing Christian people, that we look out for each other, and we are each other's keepers, not necessarily brothers' keepers or sisters' keepers, but just each other's keepers, period. And safe and sound should be, to me, an unalienable right for everybody, every child in this country in particular, to be a contributing citizen back into the communities that they live in. So it is, for me, a really great honor to be able to create some awareness, being a product of that environment where I didn't feel safe and sound, like I said. For me, has always been a lifelong commitment to make sure that there aren't a lot of Jimmy Greens out in the world, no matter where they live, who don't feel the sanctity and the safety of just being a child. And I think that really is, as adults, probably the most important thing that we can give back to our communities, is to keep our kids safe and sound. I always like to say, for me, on my last day on this earth, that I hope I have the breath to say, I was born into trash, but what I'm leaving behind is treasure. And when you look at organizations like Safe and Sound, that to me is what treasure really looks like.
Hi, I'm Michelle Waskovich. I'm the director of Safe and Sound Child Advocacy Center. I'll be honest, the job isn't always easy, and it's not always fun. It's tough work. The small team at our agency pour their heart and soul into what we do because we know that it's important work. It's necessary work. We also know that if the kids can come into our agency and do what they do, we can do what we do. Child abuse is preventable, yet it likely will never go away. For that reason, agencies like Safe and Sound Child Advocacy Center will always be needed, because when abuse does happen, we know best how to lessen the trauma during the investigation and to support the child and the family from the very beginning through the end.
My name is Desirea Woodworth, and I am the Child Abuse Prevention and Education Specialist at Safe and Sound Child Advocacy Center. I wear a lot of hats at Safe and Sound, and that's because child abuse prevention is all about strengthening families and providing them with the support that they need. Whether I am helping parents install a new car seat, providing a safe sleep environment for our newborns, talking to third graders about safe, unsafe, and unwanted touches, or educate adults on how to recognize the signs of abuse. The impact that these programs have in this community is huge. A simple heartfelt thank you from a mother whose 1-year-old desperately needed a new car seat, but it just wasn't in the budget. Or an email from a teacher letting me know that a child has disclosed abuse happening at home following one of my safety lessons are just a few of the things that make my job so special. It is our job as safe adults in this community to create an environment where our children can thrive. My hope is that we can continue to expand our prevention efforts so that every kid in Midland County is safe and sound.
I'm not sure who said it, but the quote that says that we belong to each other, I think is really true. And it is our responsibility to look out for each other. It is going to take all of us together to make sure that children are safe and they're nurtured and they're cared for. And that is our business.
Let's end abuse. Let's be the kind of community that says, not on my watch. Let's have each other's backs. Let's look up and look around and be noticers and caretakers of each other. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's be willing to have messy conversations. Let's refuse to look away because it's uncomfortable. Let's shine light on darkness and shame. Let's become educated and aware. Let's create support structures for the families at risk. Let's refuse to say, not my problem. Let's be the change, and let's make our community stronger.
So as you've heard, Safe and Sound is critical to the safety and well-being of the children in this community. My volunteer work with the agency really helps me find purpose and have fulfillment, knowing that I am helping the community that I live and work in. We can't all do the work that this agency does. These are very special people that have been called to support their community. So now it's your turn. It's your turn to make a difference in these children and families' lives. Let me say that differently. The community that we live in has child predators, and Safe and Sound cannot eradicate them without the support of the community. Without funding, none of their work is possible. So as you browse through the auction site, biddingforgood.com/SSCAC, if there isn't a piece you find, please notice the Donate Now button and still show your support. Other events we have in store this week include 2 painting parties, even one geared towards children. Our first is Tuesday night. Join Parker Lane or purchase your kit to take home and paint winter lovebirds. The other personal painting event is at Creative 360 for children and adults on Saturday. Sign up for in-person or a kit of Starry Tridge. We have a music concert put on by Empty Canvas where they sing and paint Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Thursday, we unveil our live artist competition where you see their works of art come to life and then they are open for bidding. The auction closes Saturday, February 5th at 5 p.m., so make sure you get your bids in. Again, as always, donations are always appreciated. Thank you, have fun, and stay safe.
Just say Safe and Sound. Because
Okay.
I feel like the full
It
name
does.
people up.
Okay.
You're
I make so many random noises. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
the noises. I had to stop myself from really busting out laughing.
Random noises and random faces. So that's why I guess I'm really good with bloopers. Sorry. This is why I'm so fun to hang out with. Okay.
Okay.
as you've heard, safe and sound is critical. That's right. I don't want that on the interwebs. What was I saying? Okay. And I just keep rolling? Like, okay. Okay. Easy for you to say, camera girl. Get a drink. My name is